G'day guys and gal. There is pretty much no other fictional setting on the planet that has as much deep, rich, high quality lore as Warhammer 40k. Decades of lore, hundreds of full-length books, thousands of little lore tidbits, the codexes, the community posts, the super random obscure white dwarf publications that contain absurd lore that is still technically canon as it hasn't been updated since. There is just so much, and as a result of it, even the most dedicated 40k fans aren't aware of a lot of the fun little facts like sprinkled out through the lore. Regardless, it's time to bring these interesting bits of lore to the light. I will be genuinely shocked if anyone watching this video right now knows all 10 little facts. Before we get started, Christmas has come early and Big Daddy Majorkill Santa is here to sit you on my lap and give you a life-changing gift. Don't you wish you could always just eat delicious, fresh, diverse food with minimal effort at a low cost? Instead of blowing your future kids' college fund while getting chunky because you just keep ordering food? Well, that's exactly what HelloFresh is for and does. Meal packs delivered to your door that take like 30 minutes to cook and bam, suddenly you aren't worthless. As a few of you know, I was a customer of HelloFresh for years before they agreed to work with me. So I'm speaking to you as someone who isn't just getting chucked a couple dollars to shill, but as someone who knows how much time, money, and centimeters off my waistline HelloFresh can save you. Each meal is well macroed whilst ensuring there is still plenty of micronutrients. You can choose what meals you like, how many meals you get, and how many servings per meal, meaning HelloFresh is applicable to literally anyone. Here's the best part. Using my link below or code POGMajorkillAUG16, you will get 16 free meals across 7 boxes as well as 3 cheeky extra gifts. That's close to a week of free food. You'd have to be honestly nuts not to at least try that out. Cheers to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Today I'll go over 10 interesting bits of lore in Warhammer 40k that you probably haven't heard of. Let's get into it. Star Wars has had a rippling effect on sci-fi. I'd go as far as to say that Star Wars and Dune are responsible for the majority of sci-fi tropes and technology, so it comes as no surprise that Warhammer has borrowed from both. For this bit of interesting obscure lore, did you know that lightsabers exist in 40k? I'm not talking about power swords that are just swords with a bit of extra oomph. I'm talking genuine Kenobi lightsabers. Inquisitor Eisenhorn used a Mastercraft one earlier in his career, whilst other examples have popped up a few times in the lore. The Mechanicus makes some, and they call them Solex Aegis energy blades. In a similar vein, the Tau Battlesuit fusion blades could be considered lightsabers as well. The reason why they are so rare is because they are extremely complicated with very few people knowing how to make them. Also, as much as Star Wars fans will hate this, there are just better options in 40k. When a lightsaber in 40k gets EMP'd or runs out of juice, it's just a fancy bit of metal. When a power sword runs out of juice, it's still a fucking sword. Eisenhorn later swapped from a lightsaber to a psychic energy blade. The lightsabers in Star Wars are also better, having a magnetic field to prevent EMPs, whilst kyber crystals within them would attune to the life force of the Jedi wielding them, making them more of an extension of the Jedi rather than just a very fancy laser pointer. But there you go. Next time you do a Warhammer themed D&D campaign, feel free to include lightsabers. On a light note, the Mechanicus, despite their beliefs, are pretty fucking smart. They make starships, titans, Astartes battle plate. Hell, the Mechanicus do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to creating Astarte gene seed. Arkan Land is one of their best and brightest, an explorer who has discovered his fair share of STCs and lost technology. He is so highly esteemed that the Emperor himself requested his help in seeing if the Butcher's nails could be removed from Angron. So it was pretty fucking hilarious when he was thinking about ancient monkeys and what they used their tails for. The Mechanicus had mostly agreed that a monkey's tail was a weapon. When threatened, it would spring it at an enemy, attempting to stab them with a venomous barb. The few tech priests that instead believed that the tail was used for climbing and to hold themselves up in trees were called fucking retards by their peers and looked down on. So there you go, the Mechanicus, the guys responsible for keeping the Imperium running, are awful biologists. Next up, it really seems like the forces of chaos are overusing the color red. The World Eaters went from white to red. The Word Bearers went from grey to red. I can see why the Thousand Sons went from red to blue. They were just sick of all these fucking copycats. But why did they go red? Well, the Word Bearers did it because they felt like it, but the original World Eaters went red due to all the blood they were splashed with in battle. Think about it, they use a lot of chain weapons like chain axes or chain swords to tear people apart, like I use my left hand to perform self-molestation. So whilst I'm getting covered in my own shame, they are covered in blood and gore. Like, a lot of it. Combine that with the general lack of hygiene that comes with being a follower of chaos, and suddenly it begins to make sense. The dried blood would stain them, getting layered by more blood from other battles. Some World Eaters would likely spray a sealant on it to make it permanent. New World Eater recruits would seal the red armor of their battle brothers and paint their armor red to match, not knowing their actual armor is white. Hence why the World Eaters are now red, despite being the last traitor legion to start doing it. Also, Khorne likes red, so there's that. You know Roombas? Those fucking little vacuum cleaner robots that wander around, bumping into shit and just being an overall waste of money? Well, they exist in Warhammer 40k, but not for cleaning. In 40k, they are called CATs, short for Cyber Altered Task Units, and they are used for reconnaissance missions. Here is how they work and why I call them Roombas. They are sent into an unknown zone, often a space hulk, and they begin to drive in a straight line. Whenever they reach an obstacle, they simply back away, rotate 10 degrees, and then go in a straight line again. Rinse and repeat until they find a way around. Sound familiar? The 40k Roombas are a bit more decked out though, coming with a Vox unit, a picked recorder that can stream footage, as well as a teleport homing beacon. They are only really used by the Mechanicus and certain Astartes chapters, because their use is pretty limited and they are considered difficult to make for non-tech marines or tech priests. But the fact that in the grim darkness of the 42nd millennium, Roombas are still in use is a bit cute. In both real life and 40k, Earth, or Terra, is the birthplace and cradle of mankind. It is the center of the Imperium of Man, and obviously very important. But did you know that there is another Terra, with its own Imperium of Man, Golden Throne, and Emperor of Mankind? Well, at least there was until our Imperium fucking annihilated them. During the Great Crusade, the Lunar Wolves, led by Horus, stumbled upon this second Imperium, and he sent one of his favourite Astartes, Sir Janus, to have a diplomatic meeting with them. The meeting was pretty fucking awkward. The second Emperor was like, yes, my children have come home after all these years. Welcome to Terra. I am the Emperor upon my golden throne. And Sir Janus was like, funny that. I am also from Terra, and I also serve the Emperor of Mankind, and he also happens to have a golden throne. So yeah, I'm here to deliver a cease and desist. Sir Janus then found himself getting absolutely shredded by high caliber weapons shot by invisible warriors. As such, Horus and his legion attacked the world, and despite its impressive weaponry and technology, were able to subdue it and kill its false emperor pretty quick. They then renamed it 6319, being the 19th world brought into compliance by the 63rd Expedition Fleet. The name change was for obvious reasons. Can't have two Terras now, can we? This sticks out to me in the lore due to how coincidental it was. Definitely interesting and fascinating to read about for sure. Speaking of Horus, we know him as the Arch Betrayer, this bold jihadist fuckhead who ruined everything, a war master who just loved war way too much. But before he drank the Chaos Kool-Aid and kicked off the Horus heresy, he was actually a very peace-loving, merciful guy. He despised war against sentient beings, especially humans, and he went out of his way to try prevent or stop conflicts, despite being totally justified to do the opposite. With the 6319 situation I just spoke of, they killed his diplomats, which was led by one of his most trusted Astartes, yet he still sent a follow-up diplomatic party led by another one of his most favoured trusted Astartes. It was only when that diplomatic ship was shot down did he say fuck this and attacked. Likewise, with his encounter with the Interrex, he apologized for attacking the Mega Arachnid world, which was under the Interrex's protection, and he did not get agitated or angry about the fact that they had Xenos living amongst them. When Erebus fucked everyone over and caused the war between the Interrex and the Lunar Wolves, Horus repeatedly tried to stop it. Even as he was evacuated to safety, he broadcasted that he did nothing wrong, and that they needed to just stop the violence. He was really fucking upset by the conflict with both 6319 as well as the Interrex. It really just shows how far he fell. We all know and hate Genestealers, malicious parasites that infect and subvert human worlds to their will in preparation for a High Fleet's consumption. They are a huge thorn in mankind's side, but did you know that they can actually infect any and all living organisms, not just humanity? There have been cases of infected orcs controlled by the Broodmind, infected Tau, even an infected Elder Craftworld who allowed themselves to get infected to try ward off Slaanesh. fuck me, even a Space Marine chapter got infected and now have to wear psychic dampening hoods to ward off the hive mind's influence. The reason why it seems like the Imperium have to cop 99% of the Genestealer infestations is purely because of how easy it is. Tau society is too ordered and monitored. A Genestealer infection would be discovered quickly. Likewise, orcs can tell when another orc is infected, and they will kill him for being a weirdo. To infect an Astartes, you're probably going to have to lose a dozen or so Genestealers, and he'll probably be able to resist the effects of the hive mind, so the payoff just isn't there. Eldar breed too slow and are way too switched on for the Genestealers to get them unwillingly. But yeah, straight up, a Custodi or even a Primarch could genuinely become a Genestealer. The Harad, or as I like to affectionately call them, the Hadur, are a unique Xeno that was mostly exterminated during the Great Crusade. They had a few cool quips and bits of lore, but one stands out above the rest. See, they have this god called Qua, or Kor, or fuck, I suck with my Qs, which is, you know, cute or whatever, until we discover that this god was actually the last surviving Old One in the galaxy. The Old Ones being the creators of the Orcs, Eldar, and even humans. Not only was Qua the last Old One, but he is the one who is believed to have created humanity after the War in Heaven. So there you go, mankind's real god isn't the Emperor or Chaos, it's an obese space toad. When you think of chaotic possession, you probably think of a demon jumping into someone's body, causing a ruckus, and then fucking off after a bit. And while that is true, there are so many ways for chaos to gain control of someone. First is just the straight up demonic possession, where a demon enters someone and turns them into a demon host. Some demons, like Drachnian, can possess a dead body, meaning previously incorrupted people, like custodians, can still be puppeted if they are killed. Other people embrace chaos and become so fried that they are basically possessed, often regretting their actions in despair as soon as the chaotic influence is removed. Other people can be put under a psychic spell. This is most common with the Sisters of Battle, who are super fucking hard to corrupt, but easy to mind control. Some people can even merge with a demon to form a symbiotic mutually beneficial relationship, like Argul Tal. So there you go. And finally, the Men of Iron still exist in the galaxy well beyond the Age of Strife, where they were all supposedly destroyed. UR-025 wanders the galaxy, avoiding detection. The Salamanders were forced to battle against the Men of Iron in the Tempest Galleries, whilst the Dark Angels had enslaved the Men of Iron to use as super weapons when things got desperate. The Mega Titan the Grey Knights found was also considered to be a Man of Iron, whilst the Man of Iron spaceship that accidentally traveled to the future of 40k from the Dark Age of technology is still out there somewhere, able to solo kill any fleet that crosses its path. So to say that the threat of AI is gone might be a bit naive. If you knew every single one of those 10 things already, then I'll just suck you off straight up. Or, if you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then buy a Majorkill cosplay calendar, 4 gorgeous models, 12 cosplay shots by a professional photographer. On top of that, they are photoshopped into the setting of Battle Mace 40 million. They're only around for a few more weeks, so don't be one of those guys that goes to bed at night never having seen what a pair of Tau tits look like. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more interesting content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.